It's finally time for a full review of Tesla's latest addition to the lineup, the Tesla Model Y Performance, here in Ultra Red. Welcome to It's Only Electric. Let's start.
It's only electric.
It's the most powerful Model Y you can get, with a total output of 460 horsepower or 338 kilowatts. It does 0 to 100 in 3.5 seconds with a top speed of 250, so slightly lower than the current high speed of the long-range all-wheel drive. Of course, it rides or drives with two motors, so one at the rear axle, one at the front, so permanent magnet motor and an induction motor at the front. Another change is the total length. So this car is actually 6 millimeters longer due to a redesigned front and rear bumper for better aerodynamics and a sportier look. So 4,796 millimeters. The curb weight is also slightly higher, around 30 kilograms, mostly due to the bigger wheels, but also a slightly bigger battery pack with higher energy density and a higher capacity of 82 kilowatts. It's still a NMC battery pack though. It now comes with active dampers and a new suspension, and the ground clearance is 151 millimeters, so 60 millimeters lower than the normal regular Model Y. This is also new, black side view mirrors instead of the body color mirrors, so this is kind of a new signum of the performance version. The redesigned front fascia of the Model Y Performance, and you see it's a bit different compared to the standard version. Especially here you see the plastic covers or the black trims here around the grille and the open grille here. Another change is the air vents, redesigned, slightly bigger, and you also have a black trim here, piano finish, so a bit more sporty, a bit more aggressive, but still a subtle frontal design. And you also see that on the picture, the new wheels. That's the new 21-inch Arachnid wheels running on Pirelli P0 tires, 255/35 at the front and 275/35 at the back, so a staggered setup. When it comes to charging, charge port of course placed at the same position, the left rear fender. Top speed when it comes to DC charging, 250 kilowatts, 10 to 80% in around 30 minutes, and home charging, three-phase support, 11 kilowatts. So nothing has changed in that manner. And we'll see if it's possible to charge it a bit quicker and if the charge curve actually did change due to the new battery pack. So to one of my favorite aspects of the Model Y Performance, and that's the rear. I mean, Tesla has done very subtle changes and updates to the Model Y Performance, but I still think that they have done the right thing. It kind of adds some like spiciness to the regular Model Y. First off, you have the small carbon fiber spoiler here at the rear. This is actually bigger and better looking than on the old Model Y Performance. Of course, you have the new updated taillight design and a badge, a performance badge. But the biggest change is probably the lower parts of the rear bumper, where you have a new air diffuser, but still the possibility to add a tow hitch, the tow capacity of 1.6 tons. Let's have a look at the boot. So the boot has the same space, so 540 liters of boot capacity. You have a lot of extra space underneath here. Also possible to open this area for some extra storage. Foldable seats in 3 parts. This is a very practical aspect. And on top of that, you have 117 additional liters underneath the frunk in the front. So in total, I think the Model Y Performance is the most practical sport SUV that's electric available on the market. It's time to check out the interior. Let's start with the back seat. Front seat adjusted off the my driver position. I'm 6'4" or 193 centimeters tall, and as usual, there is good amount of space in the Model Y. That also goes for the performance version. Even though the seats are a bit different, I don't know, it feels like they take up a bit more space from the back seat, but still impossible to squeeze my feet underneath the front seat. Plenty of space My knees are slightly touching the back rest, but I'm still possible to sit straight, and I have a fistful of headroom and decent thigh support, I must say. So a good back seat even for grown-ups, as usual. I mean, the Model Y is a practical car with good interior space for its size. Otherwise, when it comes to changes, when it comes to the performance version, the only two changes actually, is the first one is the seat, of course, affects the back seat a little bit. Otherwise, you have this carbon fiber trims all of the car. That's also new and unique for this version. You have the armrest in the middle. You still have the 9-inch instrument cluster or media control screen here at the back with a third climate zone, digital air vents, so you can control the media and the climate zones. You have 2 USB-C ports underneath that. You can also adjust the angle of the backrest. So for instance, now it's in its most reclined position, and the controllers are here at the side. This is the most straight position. If you control the right side, you can actually hard press it to fold the seat. That also moves the front seat forward. So when you sit here, you need to push it a bit slightly, not a hard push. Because if you hard push it, it will move the seat or fold the seats instead. But really nice to see powered seats here at the back, especially when you are in the boot and want to fold the seats, and you can like do it both fold and unfold the seats with the press of a button. And for you guys that used to the Model Y or Teslas in general, you will feel very at home in this cabin here at the front row. And if we focus on the differences compared to the regular version, first off, the first things you see is the carbon fiber trims here at the doors and on top of the dashboard. Another subtle change that some of you won't notice is the updated screen. So it now has higher resolution. It goes from 15.4 inch to 16 inch. You also have thinner bezels, not as round, a bit more square shaped, and a glossy finish. Looks really good. It's a clean layout, and I really love the screen. I mean, the old screens have always been great. This is a notch up. The steering wheel seems to be the same. I don't see any direct or immediate difference. There is one more very big change, and this may be, for me, the most positive change ever when it comes to Model Y, and that's the seat. The front seats are updated. This is the sports seats, the performance seats. They are a bit sturdier. They have a lot more side bolstering, a lot more, and I really love it. At the first, they feel a bit cramped, but you get used to it, and they are really nice. They are a bit more padded, so a bit harder padding, a bit stiffer, but it gives you a better support, especially when you drive it a bit harder. You also have nice bolsterings here at the side, but the biggest update yet is you have a slight better angle for your thigh support, and also a extendable thigh support, and that's one of the biggest updates. I mean, as a tall person, the seats in the Model Y did never really feel perfect. I mean, not until now. Now I really get the amount of support I really need. So they have added a control button here on the side for the thigh support control. So now the seats are actually probably the best Tesla seats I have tried. The only thing I can slightly complain about is 2 things actually. Headrest, not adjustable in any direction, and they tend to be a bit backward leaning at the top part. So let's say that this is the back, the total back, then the top goes slightly backwards. It a bit more reclined at the top, which means that I have a hard time like resting my upper part, my shoulders, against the seats. Otherwise, I think they are perfect. The immediate feel of recognition is, I mean, it's obvious. I'm coming from the old Model Y performance. Now I drive a Zeekr 7X. It's 2 very different cars, but you get the Tesla feeling when you jump into the Model Y Performance. That's very immediate. I mean, first off, the steering is extremely direct. Even at very small movements, you get a reaction from the car. So I don't feel any obvious change or update in the steering itself. I tried to drive it on heavy because I like heavy steering wheels, a bit more torque to it, a bit more resistance. So still a very good steering, a very direct steering, so the handling is nice. And to one of the biggest changes, as always when it comes to performance versions of Teslas, and that's the suspension. So Tesla for the first time actually went for active dampers. The regular version does have frequency adjusted dampers, but these ones are constantly changing the amount of damping, the stiffness of the dampers. And on top of the adaptiveness, or like the real-time adjustments that dampers does, you also have two settings. That's called ride and handling. That's under dynamics. First setting is called standard, and that's the mode that's more adapted for regular circumstances, regular driving. Then you have the second mode called sport. Then it gets a bit stiffer, a bit more sporty, a bit more resistant to body roll. It supports active driving in a higher manner, so to say. Normally I drive it on standard, and the immediate thing you recognize or feel when you jump into a Model Y is actually the suspension as such. It's very sporty, it's very settled, it's very reactive to your driving. Despite having it on standard or sport, it doesn't matter, it still gives you a very active driver profile. And especially still in the vertical alignment. It's very quick to pick up the car again after hitting a bump, for instance. So the vertical travel is extremely quick, and it's still a bit hard. In standard, it gets a bit softer, a bit more adaptive. Let's try here. It did actually handle that good without breaking my neck. And so on standard, it's pretty good. Let's try that on. Yeah. So you immediately feel the difference between standard and sport. It gets a bit harsh on sport. Not for pothole or off-road driving. You should set it to standard if you drive on uneven surfaces. But you feel the difference immediately. On highway, I also tend to set it to standard because I think it gets a bit too jumpy on sporty. But I like the dampers. They are a bit stiff, but still no missed sounds. It's very direct. It's very quick. But if you are into cars with a softer, more like comfortable suspension, the Model Y Performance is for sure not for you. But I mean, no Model Y is for you, because the suspension has always been to the sportier side. And that goes for both the Model 3 and the Model Y. They have that kind of suspension. It's trimmed towards that, being a sporty drive, giving you a sporty feel, more engaging drive. And when it comes to the acceleration, they now added a third mode. In the old Model Y Performance, you had chill and sport. Now you have chill, standard, and sport. So in chill, you get this sluggish, slow responding accelerator, kind of combustion engine acceleration curve. When you set it to standard, it's a lot more direct, but still doesn't give you that punch in the back, still picks up the torque during the time. And when you swap it over to insane, and you have that immediate punch in the back, and oh man, I mean, it is one of the most aggressive acceleration curves out there. You really feel that immediately, and for me, being used to it, I love that feeling. Another thing that I did forget, because I haven't driven Tesla for a while now, is that perfectly sounding motor whine, especially from the rear motor. You hear that settled tone of the motor picking up revs. I think that's a beautiful sound. That is the new kind of combustion engine sound. That's what people will want to have when driving sporty. I think that's the new sound. You don't need to have those like mimicking sounds, artificial sounds in an electric car. Not if you have a whining motor. I mean, you may not want to have that in more comfortable, more luxurious cars, but I think the Model Y, it makes perfect sense. But as a summary of the suspension and comfort, I mean, the comfort in general, it's good. It's a bit of a sporty feel to it, but it is not even near the bumpiness of the Ioniq 5N. That one is really rough. Then that one is not even nice to drive on highways compared to this one. This will behave good on highways, especially if you set it to standard. But it still suffers a bit of like crazy stiffness. For instance, just a moment ago, I had some uneven asphalt, and that side movement is really hard to get used to because it moves really quick, and that is a bit unbearable for the passengers. As a driver, you can like pick it up beforehand as you see the road in front of you, but as a passenger, that will come as a big surprise. You'll probably hit your head into the glass. It's so direct. I mean, it almost feels artificial because the precision of the steering is so good. It is so good. You can also set the stability assist to reduced instead of normal. Then you will be able to lose a tiny bit of control. You will get a bit more wheel spin, a bit more rough edges when you drive it. But take it easy. Brakes, takes a bit time to get used to the brakes. They are not that immediate. You really need to press the brakes pretty hard to get that response you are looking for before. But I mean, the brakes are good. I mean, people are whining about the brakes on the performance versions, but if you're not on a track, I have tried the Model 3 on a track with the regular performance brakes. They work good if you don't push it too hard. It is not a track car at the end. They will overheat, but not when driving normally on regular roads. That won't be a problem. Let me see if we can push it out of the corner here. Yes, it's just gives you, and it keeps accelerating. But compared to the old Model Y performance, despite having like 0.2 seconds quicker 0 to 100 time or 0 to 60 time, I don't feel any immediate difference. I mean, the old one feels as sporty as this one does. Maybe the suspension is a bit more supportive, a bit more sporty when set to sport. Gives you slighter amount of body roll, but still the difference is not huge when it comes to the driving dynamics. I'll try to summarize my experience with the Tesla Model Y performance. I mean, first off, when I saw the car in ultra red with the big 21-inch Arachnid 2.0 wheels and the performance trim together with the white interior, for me this is the best combination. I would go for ultra red with the white interior. It pops really good, and the red color really suits the car with the black details. My favorite combination. I kind of fell in love because Partly I'm missing my old Model Y performance, mostly due to its efficiency, software, and performance. It's a good combination. And back then, when I bought that car, it was expensive, or 800,000 Swedish crowns, or around like 75,000 euros. Today, the price point of this car, the new Model Y Performance, is 719,000 Swedish crowns, or 63,000 euros. So it's cheaper now than back then. And it's better now than back then. Driving dynamics, slightly better screen, the seats are much better, the car feels tighter somehow, the interior is of a higher quality, better put together, less miss sound, still a very practical car. I mean, it checks almost all boxes. The thing is though that the competition is today tougher than yesterday. Because today you have cars that really can compete with the Model Y Performance. For instance, you have the Xpeng G6 Performance, a great car, bit to the more comfortable side if you like that, but still with crazy performance. You have the car I have, the Zeekr 7X Privilege or Performance, also a really quick and fun to drive performance SUV. Both our cars are around the same price point. The Zeekr 7X, both are actually a bit cheaper than the Model Y Performance. What you get though is still, I mean, the charging network, the superchargers, you get cheaper charging, you get access to chargers everywhere, but that's also changing because now everyone can access Tesla chargers in Europe. I mean, things like the sound system. You jump into the car and it just works. Whatever music type you throw at it. It plays good and it sounds very nice every time. Another thing is the regen. I mean, also a flawless implementation of how regen should work. You can trust it every time. It's very precise. It acts the same way every time you use the car. And the one pedal driving is one of the best on the market. With that said, Tesla is kind of what iPhone is on the phone market. Things I miss though is quicker charging. I really think that 31 minutes is not really good enough anymore. I think you need to reach out for 800 volt system, because 400 volt is, I mean, it's good if you have a good charge curve, but today I expect a bit more. I think if you waited for this car, if you had a Model Y Performance, the old version, didn't want to go for the regular Model Y, I didn't want to do that because I think it looks a bit too dull, to be honest. This one though was probably just enough for me to upgrade. The most disappointing thing is of course the charging, as I said. Otherwise I think it's a good update. I mean, the range is better, the performance is slightly better, the comfort is probably a bit better, the cabin is silent. I mean, the dual pane window, the acoustic glass all around, and the silencing around the car is really better than before. So it's overall a better car in almost all aspects. So I think that's my summary. I will stop there because I can talk about this car forever, because this is an engaging car. It's a car I've been waiting for a long time. So that's it. I mean, we have been looking into all the aspects of the brand new Tesla Model Y Performance. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up, hype the video, subscribe to the channel, and go into the comment section, ask me questions, share your thoughts about the Model Y Performance. And most importantly, stay electric. Thank you for watching. Speak to you soon.